Hey everybody, Joshua TVC. Wanted to talk today about OOS criteria. Now that stands for, if you don't know, out of service criteria. That is what DOT officers go by to know whether they can put you out of service for any violations they find. So now, why is this important for you to know and understand? As we know, in any business, you got your good and your bad. You got your educated and your uneducated. And that goes the same for DOT officers. We all know that there's really nice guys and gals out there, and we know that there's some that just aren't. They seem to kind of have it out for us. And we know that there's those out there that know the regulations very well, and there's those that don't. So, by you arming yourself with the information, what's in the OOS criteria or out of service criteria, you're protecting yourself when you get pulled over for a roadside check. And you're also protecting yourself because you know what to look for during your pre and post trips that could potentially cause you problems if you get pulled over or pulled into a scale. So, understanding what's in that criteria is very important. And recently this month they made some changes to it, and they basically just kind of clarified some things inside of that criteria. There was no major changes, but it does favor carriers a little bit better because they clarified some violations in there and the wording in them that make it less vague and make it more specific and harder for officers to misinterpret. So definitely get your hands on a copy of it. You can just Google search it, you'll find it. But purchasing one of those and having it with you and knowing what's inside of it is ultimately going to save you when you get pulled over. We all know that CSA scores are extremely important. And we know, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with it, but the FMCSA is working on revamping how the categories and the scores are basically kept track of. And so keeping your CSA score as low as absolutely possible is really important because as a company driver, as an owner operator, as a lease operator, whoever you're going to work for can look up your CSA score, and that's going to tell them a whole lot. Take, for instance, myself as an owner of a trucking company. If an owner operator comes to me or somebody that wants to drive for me as a company driver, that's one of the things that I'm checking because that's going to tell me a lot about you. It tells me everything about your violation history, and it's going to tell me how professional of a driver you are, how well you take care of your equipment, how well you take care of your license. So that CSA score is very important. So, and that's tied in with educating yourself about everything because when you get stopped or pulled into a scale, if you don't know if that officer's doing his job properly, then you may get points tacked on for something that shouldn't have even been a violation. Take, for instance, a quick story. A few years back, I got pulled into a scale, and the commercial vehicle safety officer said that I had a leaking check valve. Okay, fine. But they didn't bother to do a pressure test. And we all know on a combination vehicle, on a brake pressure test, you're allowed to lose 4 psi per minute. But that didn't happen. And when I questioned it, they still gave me just a warning. But we know that that warning shows up on your CSA score. So arming yourself with the information, knowing what they're looking for, what they're going to be trying to put you out of service for, is going to give you the power to say yay or nay when they try to. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. Stay tuned for the next one. We'll catch you on down the road.